Welcome back. Thanks for choosing News at Prime. Let's bring you this now. The South African Sports Awards will take place next Sunday at Sun City. For the Coach of the Year award, it's a battle of the world champions between Springbok coach Jacques Nienaber, swimming coach Rocco Meiring, and track and field mentor Jason Sewanyana. Rocco Meiring joins us now. A very good evening and welcome to Newzroom Afrika. Firstly, congratulations on your nomination.
Thank you, Vaylen.
Rocco, you are no stranger to being nominated for awards, to winning awards, but why is this one special among some of the other coaches that you are a finalist with?
Well, coaches don't do these things for awards, that I can tell you. It is very nice to be recognized by the Department of Sport and Recreation, and it's a big honor. And then if you have other nominees such as those that you mentioned, then it's a very humbling experience.
You mentioned the very special relationship that a coach has with their athletes. Do you think that a degree in psychology was the perfect thing for you to be able to succeed at being a coach?
I think it helps. I think if you ask my lecturers, my professors, whether they want to be recognized or associated with me with my degree in psychology, they might cringe because I was not the best student. But no, it does help, and there's so many facets that bring about performance, of which psychology and the relationship you have with an athlete is obviously very important.
You have a very strong relationship with a number of South Africa's top swimmers currently, among them Tatiana Smith, Kayleen Corbett, Peter Kutzer. How do you manage to get the best out of these athletes, and consistently so?
It's a give and take relationship. It's that bond where the athlete needs to trust you, and they need to know that you have their best interest at heart. And if they succeed, you succeed as a coach. I think that's the most important thing. The second thing is to be honest. Sometimes I'm not on my A game. Sometimes they're not on their A game. And as a unit, or as a unit, you try and bring out the best in whoever's involved. So some days, they've got to lift me. Other days I've got to lift them. Sometimes we succeed. Sometimes we have very disappointing results. So if the expectations are managed and you are real and honest and open, then you have a chance, in my opinion, of having a long-term relationship that will have not only performances but also some disappointments, and that's where you learn. That's where the true character of the relationship is exposed, and to see whether there's longevity and hope.
How difficult is it being a coach in an individual sport like swimming?
I don't think it's more difficult than a team. I think it's different. It's most probably more difficult to be a coach of males and females. That's what I find. Because you need a different approach, and that's the most challenging part. Is you actually coaching males and females. In my case, I do, and then also the age difference. When I started coaching Tatiana, she was 14. Tatiana is now a married woman. She's 27. It's a completely different relationship, and you have to adapt, and you have to preempt it, otherwise you can get yourself into big trouble.
Yeah. How have you managed that kind of balance between, you know, seeing your athletes grow from teenagers through to young adults and then to adults making their own decisions, but then also between male and female swimmers?
The first part is to, as soon as possible, to create a relationship of trust, and also to create a relationship of making the athlete understand it's your journey. I'm here to help you, but it's your journey. And you have to show me that you want to continue on this journey and you're doing your best. And it's my job as a guide to show you the best way. So you give the responsibility and the power to the athlete as soon as possible, and not to create dependency. So I think that's the first thing that makes it a lot easier to, in the beginning, you have to support the athlete a lot more in taking the baton and running with it and taking the responsibility of it's my journey. And later on, it's a much more collaborative, you take a back step, and it's a much more collaborative relationship. So Tatiana drives Tatiana, and she accesses me if and when she needs me, and I have to preempt what I think she will need so that I stay ahead of the game. With the girls, it's a lot more, the girls are more emotional, so you have to be sensitive to the emotional side of the athlete. The boys, Peter and Matt, are younger, and for me as a man, it's a lot easier to deal with them because it comes more naturally. With the girls, you know, you got to be a lot more intuitive and a lot more paying a lot more attention to the emotional side.
Yeah, well, it certainly seems as if you've done a lot of self-reflection and you've been able to implement those lessons and get the best out of your swimmers, which in fact has led to South Africa enjoying fantastic moments of glory on the international stage. Rocco Meiring is a swimming coach. Among his swimmers, the current Olympic champion in the women's 200-meter breaststroke. He is nominated for the Coach of the Year award at the South African Sports Awards, which will be taking place on the 5th of May. Thank you so much for your time. And that is how we come to the end of your Focus on Sport in this hour. Do stay with News at Prime. Your headlines are next.